Hello, welcome to the second video for Mobile Mondays. And in this video, I'm going to solve lesson 2 of the IGLearner app. So let's get started. So as you can see, I have my intro to Android security version 2.1.0, which is the current version on the left side. And I have my Android x86 emulator on the right. So what we're going to do is we're going to open the IGLearner app. So we're going to click on the 6 dots and go to Learner. And again, I mentioned how to install apps on a previous video. So if you do not have the IGLearner app installed, or this app in particular, go back to that video on how to install apps. And in the inaugural video, we solved the first lesson, which was Android logging secrets. And in this video, we're going to solve lesson 2. So if we click on it, it says screw file permissions. And if we click the instruction, and let's make this bigger. Clicking the instructions again. In this lesson, we have created a world writable file somewhere in our apps directory. You need to reverse engineer the app, find the file that we have created, and enter the name of the file. You can then use the box to check your answer. And hey, if you are on a rooted phone, pretend it's not rooted. It's not interesting otherwise. So we have a world writable file and we need to find it. So we're going to click the C instructions to remove that. So now we're going to go back to our intro to Android security virtual machine. And I'm going to go to menu, reverse engineering, and I'm going to use the JADX GUI. So with JADX, you can look at APKs or application packages, which Android applications or Android apps are written in. You can use this to look at jar files, which are Java archives. You can use JADX for a multitude of things. There's a command line, so if you like to type, and then the GUI is what we'll use. So essentially what this is going to do is we're going to reverse engineer the app and look at the code. So for all of the apps inside of this virtual machine, it is located in the documents folder. And the app we're looking at is IGLearner.apk. So we're going to click on that. And now I'm going to make this a little bigger so we can look. So now we have IGLearner APK and we're looking at the source code. So again, we're on lesson 2, and for an Android app, all apps have a main activity. As I mentioned in the last lecture, in the last video, main activities are the entryway into your application. So in this case, we're going to look at lesson 2 activity here, and I'm just gonna make this a little bigger so we can see. So now we're looking at the source code for this lesson. So again, this is written in Java. You can also have native code, which is written in C. That's going to be a separate video, but for most Android apps is written in Java. So here we're looking at the code and we're looking down, and again, we're trying to find a world writable file. So we're looking for a file. Now you will notice here we have logs, learner, problem in creating file, and the exception message. We also have a log of learner, I'm in activity 2, which means I'm on lesson 2. So these logs are good because they're giving us hints on where we are in the code. So again, on the create file, we see learner here. If we have an exception, which means if anything goes wrong, it will print the message. Oh, here we have get file name. And we see that is the string value. So the value of the string, a get date method plus a get number plus .txt. Okay, so what is get date and get phone number? Well, get phone number is right under it. So what it's going to do is it's trying to get the number and it's saying, hey, go to the system service of phone and get the first telephone number. And it's saying if that is empty, meaning there is no number, then we're going to set the number to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. And then here we have a log that says the phone number is, and then the number we set, either getting it from the system service or us manually setting it. So again, keep this in mind. Logs are very important because it can give us clues and hints on what we need. So it's either we retrieve the telephone number or we're setting it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's part of the file name here because remember it says get phone number. So we know that portion. Now, remember we need to get the date. And that's in another method. So if we go down from the get phone number to get date, we have another method, and this is in a date format. So again, it's a date, and as you can see, it's the 4-digit year, 2-digit month, and 2-digit day. And it's saying, okay, the date, get that as a new date, the current date. So, excuse me, so line 142 is telling us how we want to format the date. So we want to format it as the 4-digit year, 2-digit month, 2-digit day. And then we are then going to get the current date, which we're going to call a new date. So doing the new date is going to give us the current date. And as you can see here, we have another log that says current date is, and then the date format that we use, year, month, day, and then the current date is put in, and then we're returning that. So if we scroll up to get file name, it is the date plus phone number plus txt. So we know today is April 19th, 2021, and the phone number is either going to be retrieved or we're setting it, and then we have the .txt. So let's prove this. So again, remember in our last video, we talked about logcat, and logcat is where you can look at the logs of a running application. It's an ADB function, ADB Android debug bridge. So again, you can look at logs of an Android app. So we're going to use that again because as you see here, we have these logs. So if I say ADB logcat, and I'm going to pipe that, and I'm going to use grep, which is a search tool to search for a particular string. And I'm going to search for learner. I'm going to keep it as big as possible, as wide as possible. So I'm going to say grep to learner. And here you see it is retrieving a lot of stuff, but it also retrieved our current date. It says, hey, your current date is 2021/4/19, which makes sense because today is April 19th, 2021. Again, the format is year, month, date. So we know the current date, which is the 1/3 of the problem. For the get phone number, let's guess and say we don't have a phone number because again, we're using an emulator. So let's just assume, hey, a phone number is not set for this. So let's do the 123456789 and then add the TXT. So for the year 2021, the month 04, because it's April, the date 19. So April 19th, 2021, and then the phone number, we're going to say, hey, the phone number is blank. So we're going to say 123456789, and then we're going to add the dot TXT, and we're going to check our answer. And we've solved the challenge. So that was pretty straightforward. So what did we do? Well, we connected the intro to Android security version 2.1 to the Android x86, the emulator that was discussed in another video, how to connect the two. We opened lesson 2 and we knew it was world writable. We then used JetX GUI to open and view the source code, and then doing that, we saw logs, which kind of gave us hints of what was happening. Then we saw this get file name of a date, a phone number, and then .txt. We saw the phone number. Again, it will try to retrieve the phone number from the system service. Again, we're using an emulator, so it's not being set. But if you were actually using a phone, then the phone number will be your phone number. It wouldn't be the 123456789. It will be your phone number. But since this is an emulator and a phone number is not set, the number is empty, so it defaulted, or it went to 123456789. From there, we scrolled down, we saw the get date, and we saw it had the format of year, month, day. And there was also another log that said current date is, and then it gave us the current date. Then we used ADB Logcat, ADB Android Debug Bridge, Logcat, which allows you to look at the logs. And then we grepped that for learner. So we were looking for learner inside of the logs, and we had quite a bit. But if we scrolled down, we will see current date is 2021 4/19. Remember, the date is 4-digit year, 2-digit month, 2-digit date day. So that checked out because it said 2021 4/19. Today is April 19th, 2021. So we put that in and added the TXT, and we were able to solve. So again, takeaways from this. If you are an Android developer, don't have the mindset that someone cannot reverse engineer your app, because they can. So it's like, if you have anything sensitive or secret in your app, you would not want to have it in the source code of like, oh, hey, no one is going to look at this because no one knows how to reverse engineer. As you can see, this was pretty straightforward, and we solved this in maybe 10 minutes at most, 5 to 10 minutes. So again, be very careful what you include in the source code. There are times with apps where they have like keys and passwords, and you're just like, oh my God. And for like professional industry apps, and you're just like, hey, like, you shouldn't have these things here, right? So again, those are the takeaways. Again, this was a simple exercise. It's, I shouldn't say simple, but a rather quick exercise on reverse engineering an app, and then using the code to guide us to construct the world writable file. So I hope you enjoyed this week's video on Mobile Monday, and I can't wait to see you next Monday for our next video. Have a good day. Bye.